the shocking way to fund your invention idea. I can't even say that with a straight face. YouTube's suggesting these ridiculous titles to get your attention. This is my take on how inventors can fund their invention idea. Now, what we're going to do today is go over a YouTube suggestion of how to outline this, and I'm going to riff on what I think of YouTube's AI suggested topics. So, how do we fund our invention idea, right? We're new, we're young, we don't have any money. This is too bright. There we go. Right there. So, the challenge of inventing, why funding is crucial. The high cost of prototyping and development, navigating intellectual property protection, the risk of failure, and limited resources. Ooh, sounds petrifying. I think anytime you read generic advice or cautionary tales about inventing, on text it always looks more terrifying than it really is. Make something people like, sell it to them, okay? Communicate with manufacturers, communicate with lawyers, communicate with retailers, build Shopify, Amazon. It's all very real, tangible stuff. But when you read crap like this, the risk of failure and limited resources, you think you have to be in Elizabeth Holmes and raise $182 million for your drop of blood invention. That's not what you're doing here. We're not curing any diseases. We're making better mousetraps. This stuff is pretty easily funded. So, why funding is crucial? I don't think funding is so highly regarded for inventors. I don't even like to call it funding. It's just get yourself some cash, right? Most people I know do this for around $20,000 when they first get started. Now, if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you the easiest way to get 20 grand at no cost, but you got to hang out. All right. Next, understanding funding options, grants and government programs for inventors. Listen, grants are a great way to waste your time. Unless you're in biochemistry or very green space with your invention, there's a very slim chance you're going to find a grant that's going to benefit you. And even if there was, I still don't condone it. Here's why. I spent a lot of time searching for grants until I found out there's always strings attached, there's always a pain in the butt, and at the end of the day, it's something like $10,000. I ask you, isn't your time better spent just making $10,000 instead of searching for $10,000? And again, stick around till the end. I'll tell you an easier way to get $10,000. Now, I know you guys are thinking of the companies that went huge because they got a $3 million government grant. That is such, oh my gosh, a niche or a rare case. That's when you're trying to turn salt water into fresh water, right? And timing is everything. The government's into it while you're building your business. Then you get a grant. And even then you have to hit these ridiculous milestones that are super tangible, but they could take your business in a direction it wasn't supposed to go. Make a better mousetrap, sell it to people. You could get a grant that the only way you get approved for it is if you sell everybody leaf flavored ice cream and completely ruin your business because you tried to get a grant to get the money. Venture capital and angel investors seeking early stage funding. Here's why. Here's something harsh that I learned over the last couple of years. Venture capitalists don't want anything to do with product inventors. And that sucked to hear. That sucked to learn. Now, in my mind, I had an invention that I could make a 80% margin on, and I thought, that's a great investment. Any VC firm would be stupid not to jump on board with this idea. They hate product companies, inventors especially. Why? VC firms are interested in the 100x company. Product inventors, the best shot they have is like a 10x. In other words, if I work at this really hard for 4 years, maybe I could take the $250,000 they gave me and turn it into 2 million, 3 million, right? It's an okay return. That's a good return, but they're not going to fund their lavish lifestyle off of one company going to 3 million. They want to find a company that they can put in $3 million and turn it into $300 million in 4 years, right? So they don't want anything to do with us. I do not recommend going after traditional VCs. Now, angel investors, it's pretty much the same story. They're really not that interested in product companies. So I would classify angel investors more as like the 3 Fs, friends, fools, and family. Those are the people who you're most likely going to get money from. And if it's a case of getting $100 to $30,000 from grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, stuff like that, absolutely go after it. Crowdfunding platforms, yes. That is the one that I 100% condone. With the caveat that, now it's too bright, with the caveat that, hey, you're not going to get that much money off of a Kickstarter campaign. It happens. You go on Kickstarter, you see these projects that are 3,000% funded. That is a heavily orchestrated media campaign, and that costs a lot of money. It costs a ton of money to advertise a really, really highly funded Kickstarter campaign. And no matter how good the product is, the problem with advertising for a Kickstarter campaign is the ROAS, the return on ad spend, is terrible. The conversion rate is terrible. Imagine it. When you run an ad for Tide cleaning products, you can go to Target that night and buy cleaning products very conveniently. But if you run an ad for your new hair straightener that doesn't exist because it makes your hair, I don't know, and your call to action is go to my Kickstarter, and maybe if I get funded in 6 months, you'll get it shipped to you. That's a horrible conversion rate. People they're not down for it. So I recommend like a $3,000 Kickstarter campaign. Aim low. Maybe people will fund it to 100% in the first couple of days, and then maybe it'll get a little bit of viral traction. Like, hey, we were 100% funded in 24 hours. And maybe you'll get a little bit more money, but it's absolutely cheap. Shoot a little video like I'm doing here, promoting your product. Be very real with people. Fill in all the blanks. Kickstarter is not a scary thing. Go for it. All right, what's next? Finding the right investors. Defining your target audience and understanding investor needs. Crafting a compelling pitch deck that showcases your invention's value. Building strong relationships with potential funders. Again, this is all, you can give all the lip service, all the word salad you want to the most important people you can find, but at the end of the day, is your proposition that attractive to them? Probably not. Now, when people can't deny you is when you actually have sales. And I think the best way to get sales is to do a small order with your manufacturer, somewhere in the realm of 20 grand. Show that you have sales, and then go back to these investors, which again are not going to be traditional. It's not going to be VCs. It's going to be the 3 Fs, but then they can't deny that you can show a return. As far as just going in raw, F it, we'll do it live type of thing, and going to grandma and saying, I have this idea and it's this, and that. The only way you're going to get that money is if she just loves you unconditionally and would do anything for you. You're proving nothing. I don't care how cool the idea is. Grandma's gonna say that's amazing. You were always such a smart boy. Give you the 20 grand, but that's just. Sorry, my wife's calling. It's not feasible. Okay, so schmoozing your investors, yeah, it's important, but I think this whole topic is kind of a waste of time. Expert advice and success stories. Lessons from successful inventors who secured funding. Tips on navigating the investment landscape. The importance of persistence and adapting your approach. Again, we're just beating a dead horse on how hard you're going to have to go after money. So I'm going to cut to the chase. The way that you get 20 grand for your invention is quite simple. You've all heard of 0% APR credit cards. Go to your bank, get yourself whatever it's Chase, Wells Fargo, doesn't matter. Get yourself a 0% APR card with a limit of hopefully $20,000. If you have decent credit, that's probably not too hard to get. Then basically with those cards, it's 0% interest for usually 12 months, sometimes 18 months, sometimes 24 months. So that means you can take that card, get on Alibaba, find a manufacturer, place the order, pay it in full with the card on Alibaba safely, pay a little bit of transaction fees, but that's a lot better than taking out a high interest loan. You might pay $300 in transaction fees. And then on your bank account, set up automatic payments to pay back about $1,400 a month, let's say, so that it's paid, so that it's zeroed down at the end of that zero interest term. Okay, that, my friends, is the best way to get money for your invention. Don't turn grandma's life upside down. Don't ruin her Social Security. Don't waste your time knocking on the doors or applying on the websites of VC investors. No. And don't think about government grants. Just like, come on. Unless you're in that space and you want to. But it's probably going to derail your plans. That, my friends, is how you get funding for your invention. The ShOcKing way. Big surprise, huh? It's natural resources, things we find around all the time. The pencil behind your ear that you're looking all over your desk for. That's what a lot of these answers are, and that's what it was today. I'll see you on the next one.